shipping traffic.
We're not hostage in a shipping container.
Yeah. All right.
Ouch.
Welcome.
It's good to be back. We're
Human
happy
trafficking.
for freedom. Yes, for liberties. Because these freedoms, these liberties allow us to watch Black Adam and review
Facts.
it for everybody out here. So obviously, this is the Legion on Zoom. We're back. We got the full crew today. I'm here,
Woo!
Miguel, obviously, as always, my boys, Ches and Rod.
What's up?
Rod is back from his off-world missions.
Yeah.
He was actually out there trying to stop human trafficking.
Damn. A noble
Which we were-
endeavor.
Which we were discussing when the show just started.
Damn, it's not as impressive. I'm back for some DC action because DC is back on the map. Thanks
You were
to
out
The
there?
Rock.
You were out there trying to stop human trafficking. You're like, wait. The movie came out, but I gotta stop this. I'm sorry. People like save me. No. I gotta go watch the Black Adam movie first. That's more important right now.
And then do the review. Like, for now, just keep on trafficking. I'll be back.
Diablo. All right, but before we do that, right, before we dive into the Black Adam, because we all have thoughts, and obviously a lot of people have been criticizing the movie OD. We got some news actually, and the first news bulletin is really related to Black Adam. Obviously, everybody knows the post-credit scene. Even freaking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself was spoiling it. But our man Henry Cavill is back, people.
Yes.
Yo, I mean, I think this is the first time we jumped that far ahead into a movie. Like, we just started the review and went to the post-credit scene. But like, he looked obscenely HD. Like, what's after 1080?
Yes.
What's after 1080p? I don't know. No. It's like 1440, I think. Yo, he looked 1440p. Like, he looked more high res than the entire movie.
Yo, but what's exciting about that, right? We'll talk about that amazing post-credit scene when we're doing the review, but we know that he's back and they're making a Man of Steel 2. It is in the works. All right, thoughts, people.
I mean, a part of me wants to say, like, fuck you, Henry Cavill, because honestly, it shouldn't have taken this. It shouldn't have taken this long to make a Man of Steel 2. Like, I get it, you know.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
What the hell? Is it Hamada?
No. I get that.
I have a whole spiel already.
But I felt like that there was a whole Cavill thing where, like, he didn't want to get pigeonholed into Superman. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't ready to go back to back. Like, he gave off that vibe. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to do other things. Like, bro, just grab the bag. Be Superman.
I don't know. I didn't get that. But I don't think it was
got
up
that
to
vibe.
him, man. I think it was looking like Rod said, Hamada.
Rod, I mean, that too.
Yeah. I mean, the first question I have is, what does this mean for the Black Superman movie we're going to get? Which DC can still make because they're still doing multiversal stuff.
Yeah, it's a different
We got
universe.
the next Joker coming up and everything. But yeah, you know, things are changing. The tides are changing over at DC Studios, who now has James Gunn as co-CEO, right? And this is big, right? Because Henry Cavill coming back is maybe part of this whole shift. And, you know, for the Deep Cuts fans, we already knew that The Rock and Cavill were plotting an epic showdown years ago. But then, of course, there's that photo of them drinking his tequila. That's like, you know, I don't know, over 5 years old at least.
Terramana.
But yeah, no, because you know they're bros and they wanted to have this showdown. The Rock's the hierarchy of power thing is all about Superman because he is at the top of the hierarchy. Yeah. Right.
Like literally.
So without Superman, like that whole line, like the hierarchy of power is about to change. You know, like what? Who's he more powerful than? How Harley Quinn or some shit? Aquaman.
Wait. I'm mad that you went Harley Quinn before Aquaman. Like, what the fuck?
She's better. I'm sorry.
She's a person. Aquaman is kind of like a demigod in a way.
Lit.
She's more lit, but Aquaman is way more powerful than fucking Harley Quinn.
True that.
But
yeah, I'm ready.
Like, I felt very conflicted after watching this movie. This was a weird combination of a good and bad movie combined. Like that's the thing. Like, and mind you, that's a very specific critique that I'm applying to this movie. Like, the movie wasn't bad and it wasn't good. It was a good movie and a bad movie combined. And I mean that very specifically because there was shit. Like, I remember myself thinking, like, during this movie, like, this, like, at certain parts, which of course we'll dive into a little later. I was like, this is amazing. Then at times I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, this is amazingly bad. For me, the Justice Society, the two young members, all those scenes were cringe. All of them. I would have left all of those on the chop block.
No.
So cringe.
No, some of them,
Cringe.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. They reeked of being in Green Arrow's headquarters. Those scenes from there. I hated the fact that Adam Smasher was a young Mark Ruffalo. Like he's
Anley,
Mark Ruffalo's,
our guy Anley said that too.
He's young Mark. He's Mark Ruffalo's son. That was like, it's like he had a clone, and then our Mark Ruffalo had sex with a Mark Ruffalo clone, and that clone gave birth to that Mark Ruffalo because there was no deviation in appearance. Like that's a young Mark Ruffalo straight up. And also, not to mention his power set for being as epic as it is was made completely useless and a joke throughout the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. He fucking sucked, honestly. Like just Adam Smasher, and I feel the cringe with it too. You know, we should start diving into the review already. Then I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Because but before we, just to wrap up the Man of Steel stuff, I'm excited for Man of Steel 2. We're gonna talk about Black Adam too, but I really fucking like Black Adam. You guys might hate me for this, but I think I actually liked it more than Man of Steel.
What? Whoa! Nah.
I actually rewatched. I rewatched Man of Steel because I hadn't seen that in years. Like I've seen Batman vs Superman again because I've seen the extended cut or whatever it was called, right? The Ultimate Edition, right? Which is great. And I've never been a big fan of the Man of Steel. It's good. Like I liked it, and then after rewatching it, I don't know, man. I still like it more. Black Adam, I like it more. And I really hope that the Man of Steel 2, since it won't be with Zack Snyder, because you all know I have my thoughts about Zack Snyder. And like, if Zack Snyder does a film, it has to be a 4-hour film. I feel like I don't think he can cram his vision into like a typical Hollywood 2-hour movie. No, because that's why the Ultimate Edition is so much better, because it gives us at least a little bit. How much more time? Like, is it like an hour?
45 minutes.
An hour.
45 minutes. Yeah. And those 45 minutes really fucking help, because I didn't like Batman vs Superman before.
I just want to note it for the record. I would watch a 4-hour Man of Steel 2 by Zack Snyder. I would watch a 4-hour movie. Like if he did come back and it was 4 hours, I would watch that.
I'm always surprised that there wasn't an extended Man of Steel. Because we got like an ultimate BVS, an ultimate Justice League, but like I'm surprised they never pulled out, this is like extra 30 minutes or whatever. I'd be all in for that shit.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, but dude, this movie was fucking like it was a spectacle. Because so like as the movie was going, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And if you go on YouTube and just watch us, I'm holding my head against my forehead in that like thinking gesture, because like I'm trying to understand, like, so Amanda Waller. So this film is canon in the greater DCEU, right? Because Amanda Waller's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So where the fuck has the JSA been?
Not giving a fuck. They just been doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Why is Carter Hall so rich? Like, it's like the whole JSA got guap because you see Pierce Brosnan, who I forgot his name as
Kent.
The host of Dr. Fate. Yeah, Kent. He's rich apparently because he's being driven around in a Bentley. Carter Hall has an estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, the JSA has money for some odd reason. They're all rich bastards.
Yeah.
But aside from that, where have they been? Like, oh yeah. As per the movie, they're meant to maintain the global stability. But where the fuck were they when Darkseid was involved? When things went to shit, where were they?
Well, Darkseid isn't necessarily canon right now. But maybe
Steppenwolf, right?
Steppenwolf, yeah. But remember, like even at the beginning, they're not necessarily a team because it's just him and Dr. Fate and 2 new recruits. So they're not really like necessarily a team. Like he probably has like a rotating roster of superheroes. So it's never like a set thing. But yeah, coming into this movie, that's what I wanted. I wanted JSA background, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because the movie already has a lot of plot to go through, a lot of Black Adam shit to go through.
Right.
Fact.
But I was hoping for, how does this team build into the greater DCEU, like you're saying, Ches? But we got none of that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's still room for a JSA movie, which might happen now because Black Adam did well.
Oh, no, yeah. Like, there's definitely room, but it's just my whole thing is, where the fuck has Hawkman been this whole time? If he apparently has like close connections with Amanda Waller, you know what I mean? Like he's all aware of like all the global shit. Like he's never made an appearance once. It just doesn't make sense. Like this movie had so much shit that lacked context. It was wild.
But I love that actually. I was fine with it. Like I really fucking enjoyed the movie from beginning to end. I was looking to get entertained, and I was entertained, man. Like, yeah, some things were not great, some things were cringy, but not cringy enough that it took me out of the movie. You know, like it made me laugh in the moment, which was fine, and I kept with it. And even that, I kind of loved that. I'm like, because they're already giving us, like Rod said, like a bunch of backstory for Black Adam. He's the star. We gotta focus on that. I don't want backstory on JSA right now. But I felt like they gave us enough information about them for me to be like, I like them. This is cool, right? Obviously, because also like Aldous Hodge as Carter Hall.
Oh, he was great.
Hawkman, fucking epic. Pierce Brosnan, God damn. Any scene, and the moment that he was there, I was like fucking sold, man. I love you, Dr. Fate. Like, I'm loving it, and the fight sequences were so cool. Like I was sold, and to the point that I feel like, all right. Like for me, like I was entertained by the actors, like their roles, their looks, their fightings, their dialogue, their back and forth. Now I feel like, okay, I'd watch a movie that explains, well, where were you guys during all these, big events that have happened in Wonder Woman and Aquaman and I don't know.
But
like,
Wonder Woman is period piece. Not to like poke holes, but Wonder Woman are period pieces. Right. And also given that Hawkman has access to Amanda Waller, he's being sent on missions, so he's not just gonna show up. Exactly. And Amanda Waller has intel, so her first line of defense might be Superman, Batman, whatever. Then the Suicide Squad. Okay, that doesn't work. I guess we gotta fuck with the JSA, whatever. Because the Justice League is not currently active, and who knows what's going on with the Suicide Squad. But yeah, and given that it's only this one dude, and that he just recruited Dr. Fate, and then later on Atom Smasher and Cyclone, I'm like, okay, like that kind of makes sense that he's just like a recruiter. He just has this like label for this team, that he runs.
Which means I want a full fucking, at this point, fuck a JSA movie. I like this version of Hawkman, like who has a close relationship with Amanda Waller, and he's task force, like whatever the fuck X or whatever.
No, that's Suicide Squad.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like this is the JSA, but I feel like it was almost like not really the JSA, because if you're in contact with Amanda Waller, you're not your own thing. Like you're what she wants you to be.
I don't know anything about the JSA, which actually now this movie actually kudos to them, to The Rock, because now I really I've been now reading Black Adam comic books. I want to read JSA by Jeff Johns because I think it has Black Adam quite a bit in it. So I would love to learn more about the JSA. Because exactly, I don't know, are the JSA like that kind of a team that they do what the government tells them, or are they like an independent team like Justice League is? So I'm not really entirely sure. I do know, at least historically, right? Like from during World War II, that kind of stuff, they were that kind of a superhero team, helping, right, the United States in that in the World War II, right? And so
yeah, and if DC released like some comic book prequels, which sometimes are canon, most often are not, but there are some like JSA, I think, one shots for each person. I haven't read them yet, but they probably knew, like, okay, we're not gonna explain shit, let's give them some type of story, some type of background.
Right, because what would be cool, because if we know, right, for those people out there, for Hawkman, he's in, como se dice, reincarnates, right? After every time he dies, he comes back, and he has had lived all these different lives. So it'd be interesting to see if the Hawkman that we're seeing now is like, the latest version of Hawkman, but then there was an older version. Maybe that's why he's had all this money.
Oh shit! Like, for example, like there could have been a version of Hawkman that fought Tethadam in Kahndaq type shit.
Fuck.
Damn, thinking about that shit just gave me fucking goosebumps. But like, for example, like there was one thing like I didn't like, which explains to like the whole context thing. I think it was what was her name? A tornado, cyclone, whatever the fuck.
Cyclone.
Yeah, cyclone. When she was like, she comes onto the ship. I think it's her that says she's like, "Is this whole ship just made of nth metal?" They just threw that in there. They just threw that.
Damn, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, it's indestructible." So it was like, okay, so you just introduced fucking Thanagar, like nth metal, in one sentence, asking us to go with it and telling us that it's basically the DC equivalent of adamantium. Like, what?
I love that. I love that they threw stuff in like that. That it's like, look, for the casual viewer, doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess strong metal. It doesn't matter.
But that's
for
my
us,
point.
I'm like, that's dope. Because even also how with Dr. Fate, they introduced the whole idea of the Lords of Chaos and Order, right? Because like he mentions how like he's and como he said, an avatar for the Lords of Order, and like we know. That's
but I felt like
big thing.
Yeah, that's a massive thing. Yeah, because then with that you got like the Lords of Chaos and fucking Clarion and all this crazy shit. But I felt like that was given a little bit more depth than that one sentence, because it was like you just introduced a whole planetary culture in one sentence via a mineral and gave no other background.
Bro, talk to me about Eternium.
Oh yeah, that too. Same thing. Same
Kryptonite.
the same way. Out of nowhere. Like, yo, I shit you not. I don't even think, maybe because I haven't read enough Shazam comics, I don't even think Eternium is a thing.
Let me check because I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't even I've never before this movie. I'm like, wait,
me neither.
I don't think
have a kryptonite version for them, like,
right?
Because at this point, like, if you think about it in the comics, there's so many Marvels.
Oh shit, it's in the Arrowverse. Hold up.
What? I do not remember that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
And the name of it sounds so cheesy, no? Eternium. Come on, like, is this for real? Like, is it like?
Oh, okay, real quick. So in the big Infinite Crisis or on Earths, whatever, Eternium was used to trap the Anti-Monitor by one of the monitors, Mar Novu. Now, let me see if it's comic book canon. But yeah, so it's not the first time.
Oh, that's in the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in. Oh yeah, it is in the comics. Yeah, it is.
Well, there you go.
Shit, man, that's crazy.
Because for me, it was just like the Rock's Superman movie, and then that's his equivalent of Kryptonite, and it was just there randomly. Like, but yeah, let's go. Let's just run through the plot. Okay, right off the top, I liked the origin. Right, it was kind of cool. We kind of saw the plot twist coming when his dad looked too much like the Rock. Remember when they're like mining for this precious mineral. And also give some background on Kahndaq, right? This is like the land that Black Adam oversees, very similar to Dr. Doom in Latveria. He's like a noble yet vicious ruler. Like he's willing to rip beings and humans in half if they cross.
He's nobly vicious.
Yeah. So and then they mentioned how like this civilization predates any other civilization in recorded history or some shit like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was interesting to me because I kind of would have liked to see how it plays into, again, like the original battle scene from Justice League, from Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, as we previously mentioned, may or may not be canon in this new DC cinematic universe. But yeah, but I like the origin. It's pretty cool. It had Snyder-esque shots and even visuals.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
that's you.
The feds.
The part that I found interesting was like, all right, so Kahndaq was one of the earliest, maybe the earliest, like organized society of this age. But for those of you who have watched the Young Justice cartoon, you learn that the god, is he a god or like the Lord of Order, Naboo, was actually a son of Vandal Savage from a society that came before Kahndaq.
Yeah, like that came from the society when I think Atlantis was not submerged. Yeah,
exactly. Like so it's like all that shit already happened. That sink. Then we got Kahndaq. Like it's so This movie was steeped in ancient shit. It's great. All right, like this one thing I'll give props on DC. they've buried their grounds of lore, I think, further in time than Marvel.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
because Marvel did that like Avengers 10,000 BCE type shit. But yeah, but the fact that like Naboo is actually the son of Vandal fucking Savage,
Right.
who's still alive, it's crazy if you think about it for a second.
Yo, good villain for part 2. But let's not jump ahead. I would love Vandal Savage.
Oh
like,
my
like a
god,
big brolic one though. The one in Arrow was
Yo.
cool, but I want like a
that
buff one.
that Vandal Savage was fucking garbage.
It was going. I didn't know where you were gonna go with that.
I know, me too. I was like, wait.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I thought
There are
he was
certain
all
characters.
right.
No. Like aesthetically, that, but bigger. Just like, but the way they did it, like some puny ass motherfucker with like sleek back hair, and like I said, aesthetically it was on point. But the body they used for the actor doesn't make any sense.
Damn, you
Like-
just body shaming him. I thought you were gonna shitting on like his performance. I thought he was
No. He actually had
Cancel
a good
Chaz.
performance. Like I
Body
actually
shaming
enjoyed.
Chaz, no.
But come on, dude, Vandal Savage, the way he's been shown in the comics, and then basically his best iteration ever in the Young Justice cartoon, dude, that Vandal Savage is amazing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very similar to the DC AMU version. You see him in like Hell to Pay, Suicide Squad, very cool iteration there, and it's kind of like the same, it sort of translates, not necessarily the same continuity, but
No shit. And to be honest, even the way that character is written, it's not even like he's really a villain.
yeah,
It's like once you're old enough, you've been alive for a certain amount of time, like the whole good bad thing is just like kind of like that's not how this works.
yeah.
Like-
Quick tangent. Miguel, did you finish
We've
Justice
been
League?
on a tangent.
Did you finish Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes, which is currently on DC Universe Infinite Ultra?
No, man.
Damn, Infinite Ultra.
Yo, what's next, man?
I don't know. Plus Ultra
DC
for
Comics
for
straight to your
Hero Academia
brain with the Elon Musk neural link. Black Adam first issue.
Nah. I haven't been reading that book just because it's by Brian Michael Bendis, and I have not liked any of his shit on DC. That I'm like, I've been waiting for somebody like, if you tell me it's worth the read, I'll check it out then.
It's good. I'll say that. It's good. I don't want to spoil it though, but it does have Vandal Savage. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but he's
Ooh.
dope in that. That might incentivize you. And the first appearance of Gold Lanterns. So
Yes.
if anybody wants a modern Vandal Savage story, definitely check that out.
Wait,
All
who
right.
the fuck is Gold Lantern? Like, what emotion? Like,
they haven't
what?
necessarily revealed that yet. So,
Because
spoiler
victory,
alert,
straight up.
because they're in the 31st century, and by then the Green Lantern
Shit.
Corps is defunct. And so but the Guardians they still exist, and they're like, okay, we need something new. We need gold now. Because maybe they're Jewish. I don't know what's going on.
What? No.
But yeah, they really want gold.
Don't go Kanye West right now.
Kanye Rod.
Yeah, I'm gonna get canceled.
Cancel Rod.
I
All
love
right,
me
the
some
show's
Jews.
just me now. Jesus Christ.
Anti-Semitic Rod.
So
straight up.
they give, I forget his name, but they give this character the first Gold Lantern ring, and now he's in charge of handing out each one. Unlike before, where they're kind of chosen, now it's up to him to decide who's worthy of the gold ring.
Damn,
But yeah,
no, but,
a cool little nugget, contributed to the DC universe by Brian Michael Bendis.
All right. I'll
But
check
yeah,
it out.
back to Black Adam though.
Back to Black Adam.
it's like,
Yes.
oh wait, was anyone annoyed by how easily she was reading all the scriptures in the cave? Like, there's all this ancient writing. She was locating every sentence that she needed, right, by looking at it. Like, she was like this and this and this, like just by putting her finger on it, like it was real.
I get it. Like, look, not at all. It's all cheesy. It's a simple movie. Like, it's a simple movie. Like, it's a pretty, like, the plot, it's pretty straightforward. It's not crazy complicated. Like, and I liked it. Like, I felt from the beginning, because I felt like from the beginning they kind of showed us that, right? Like, oh, there's this, investigator, archaeologist type woman that
Laura Croft, yeah.
like, Laura Croft, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna believe it. Yeah, sure, whatever. If I'm gonna believe that there's this, thousands-year-old person in prison that's gonna come out, has lightning power. I'm like, I'm gonna believe that she can just read this shit. Like I'm with it. I'm like, just I'm like, don't make me think about it too much. Keep it going, keep it going. Like give me some, and then because then right after that, we get this awesome fucking. I loved Black Adam's debut, right? It just immediate action, right? And not
that was dope. That was
and not
dope.
just like dope. I don't know, like I don't not Marvel action, right? We got some fucking like DC, like yo, like he's ripping people apart, right? Like he's putting bombs in their mouth, like using so much slow motion, but in a cool way. Like I felt like I was reading a comic book. I was just like, oh, the comic book's on the fucking screen, and I'm seeing this awesome action scene that I loved all of that. Loved all of that.
And one quick detail. I love the fact that for fans who never have really read Black Adam or seen him interact with other supervillains and see his behavior explained, I love the fact that they included the small detail that he barely walks. He always hovers. I love that, because if that looked weird to anyone in the movie, it's literally in the comics. He's so arrogant, the epitome of hubris, to the point that his feet don't touch the earth. He hovers at all times.
Bro, but think about it too, right? If you could fly and float, like why would I walk? If I could just, I'd be just fucking man, just.
And when he does walk, it's through walls casually.
or to make a statement. Every time he walked in the movie, aside from just walking through a wall, every time he touched the ground, he was like, all right, this is important. Pay attention.
Oh, I have a quick question for you guys. Well, I kind of already like answered it in my head, but I was thinking about this yesterday. Is this the first time that the actor is bigger than the character?
Damn. Yeah.
What do you mean?
So like The Rock.
The Rock is more famous than Black Adam.
Like obviously The Rock will permeate into the comics with his iteration, right? They're gonna start slowly. They might make him bald with darker skin, whatever they do, a little bit more jacked. I've been seeing, but you know he's always been jacked anyway. The comic book character that it is, but yeah, but like The Rock being like, because he's mad, he brings this huge fan base with him to this movie because there's people that are not DC fans that want to see The Rock, right? So they come here and they see this guy. And then it's like, it's almost hard not to see The Rock on screen. You're trying to see Black Adam, and Black Adam is maybe like a B-list DC Comics character who's like rarely known. This is like the first introduction to most people.
OD. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're absolutely right. This is the first time the actor is way exponentially bigger than the character.
But but how different? Like, I know physically he did look pretty different. He didn't have the widow's peak thing, right? You know, but in terms of his personality, in terms of the way he carried himself, like, how different is he from Black Adam as we know him in the comic books?
Well, Brian Michael Bendis added him to the Justice League, and right there, DC Comics brightened him up a little bit, perhaps in anticipation for The Rock's performance, right? Because he is ultimately a good guy. In the comics,
but a giant dick.
Yeah, but in the comic books, he is a giant dick. Like, he kind of has a mean face, whereas The Rock, even though he's like massive, he still has a welcoming face. He's still smirking. Kids, like, okay, like when the movie opens up and he wakes up in the kid's room, that's terrifying. Like, if it would have been like the comic book version, he probably would have scared the shit out of the kid. or at least made him shit himself type shit. But The Rock,
or at least like he would have grabbed the kid and like hung him out the window type shit, like till he answers questions and then pulled him back in.
Yeah, but I loved that scene when he wakes up and he just keeps looking at himself in the mirror. Like, the kid's like, yo, Kandak is under attack and we're under control. And The Rock's just like, all right, hold up. He looks at himself in the mirror again, like mad epic. You guys didn't notice that shit? Twice he does that.
Twice.
Like, damn, I look great in this fucking costume, which he does.
Mad contractual.
But with that, I agree. Yeah, I think The Rock might be the biggest star that's bigger. I mean, that's bigger than the character, right? The only other one that I was kind of thinking about a little bit was I guess Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool.
Iron Man, maybe?
No, but I think for Iron Man, but Robert Downey Jr. was fucking Iron Man. Like, they didn't really change Tony Stark in the comic books to match what he was bringing in. Like, he was kind of that way. It's kind of like Patrick Stewart. Patrick
didn't really
Stewart, Charles
change Black
Xavier, like
Adam.
they're one and one.
Yeah.
And Robert
It
Downey
didn't
Jr.
really change
wasn't.
Black Adam because there was a bald Black Adam before the Rock.
Yeah, I mean more brand. Like I mean, which brand is more
Yeah.
popular? Not necessarily like who has
Exactly.
more influence over whom.
Right, because remember at that time when Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man, he wasn't a big brand. Like he was
Yeah, that's
not
true.
a
That's true.
famous
True.
actor.
He was like a
But
legacy.
yeah, but
brand,
neither
so to
was.
speak, yeah.
I mean, Iron Man. I guess he had a cartoon and shit, but Iron Man wasn't that big. I don't know. That's a good one. I was thinking that's the one that I had thought of. Oh, and we also got Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, but given Harley Quinn's fucking extreme rise to popularity, like in recent years, but I mean, it's still Lady Gaga, so she's like a fucking diamond selling.
That's why I was thinking maybe Ryan Reynolds, because Ryan Reynolds was, it's been pretty famous, right? He's been known for most, and who really knew who Deadpool was, right? For a lot of people, they will now just always think Deadpool is right, because even when Ryan Reynolds did Green Lantern, I think at that point to a time, both were pretty big. I don't know. I don't know how, but because come on, at that point, I think Green Lantern had everything with Jeff Johns, and I don't know. I think Green Lantern might have been a little bit as well known as Ryan Reynolds at that time.
Thank you for mentioning Jeff Johns. That is probably the only thing that I think this movie missed, because the like you mentioned, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Justice League, all these films have had the touch of Jeff Johns' storytelling prowess and David Goyer. This movie didn't have that, and I felt like that was the element that it needed to be like at least critically praised better, right? Because the critics panned it, which was like unfortunate because it wasn't terrible at all. I fucking like it was good. I had a great time, but yeah, I think it was probably because the storytelling was a little funky, and I think that they needed that Jeff Johns in there. Shout out to Jeff Johns.
And facts, because he is a god indeed. The one thing I wish there would have been a little bit more explanation on the difference between him and the actual Shazam. Not the wizard, but Zachary Levi. Because it's the same acronym, totally different gods. Like, I don't even know the acronym for Black Adam's gods. That's a whole different fucking, like, it's all ancient Egyptian gods that, as far as I know, I go like Ra and like Amun. That's about it. Like,
Horus is in there.
Yeah, Horus. Yeah. I don't know any other Egyptian gods, but it's like the Zachary Levi Shazam. He gets his power from the Greek pantheon.
Right.
Black Adam gets his powers from the Egyptian pantheon.
And some Moon Knight shit.
Hey,
yeah.
Yo, that's oh shit. I didn't even think of that, which is actually pretty crazy. But I feel like they should have addressed that. Like, I feel like Black Adam should have addressed the fact that he knows that there's another champion out there.
Wait, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't at all. At all.
Yeah.
They don't address him at all.
But why would they have to address that here in this? I think that would have been way too much.
No. Because come on, like, dude, the way that power works is like they're from the same thing. It's almost like a Taoist, like yin and yang kind of thing. You mean to tell me like that Billy Batch and Shazam didn't feel the fact that Black Adam just woke up?
Post-credit scene.
Yeah, like no, but they
Fear of the Gods.
But,
no, I mean like for Fear of the Gods, that'd be a good one. Like, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
like,
well, like,
oh my god.
Like,
but
like
is that how it is in the comic books? I don't really know Shazam really in the comic books. Like, can they sense when the other one becomes?
No. But it's almost like implied when it comes to magic. If you think about it, like all that shit you read, there's no way that the actual Shazam, played epically by Damon Hansu, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way that he didn't sense that Black Adam woke up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He might have, because remember, like the whole post-credit scene is all about, okay, now what's going to happen with him interacting with the world? Because they tried to centralize it all about how is he going to react to Kandak and what it's become. And then they got him in the Waller, like, don't step out of there. You're going to get fucked up. But he's like, who's to say it? I don't, I want to explore the world. What's up? And that's where you get the whole Billy Batson shit going.
Yeah, except that we get 1440p Cavill.
Yo.
Mad HD. That whole shit looked fake because like it bothered me how high def his shadow was in silhouette. Like, no silhouette is that HD. I can clearly see the lines. Like,
yo, he's more Superman in those 5 seconds than in the rest.
He's ever been.
because
The
that's what I
costume is
mean.
brighter.
Yo, that's
His
what I
eyes
mean.
look bluer. He had the curl. Like he's peak Cavill Superman right there, and that's like only a taste of what's to come.
I dare say that's the moment where he officially surpassed this dude. What's his name?
Christopher Reeve.
Yes. That's the moment where he surpassed Christopher Reeves.
Yeah,
I
because that's
think.
what I mean when I rewatch Man of Steel, man. There's a lot of things like I like Henry Cavill's look. I like him, the idea of him as Superman, but I didn't like how Zack Snyder handled him. Way too dark, not at all like Superman. You know, because actually, when I was rewatching Man of Steel, for instance, like there was the one scene when he's a kid. You know, the whole thing is that his dad is like, you can't use your powers, right? You know, and then there's that scene where he like the school bus falls onto the off the bridge into the water, and he rescues all the kids, right? Pushes the school bus over. He's talking to his dad about it, you know, and the dad's like, you shouldn't have used your powers, and he's like, what, should I have just let them all die? And he straight up said, maybe. That's not Superman.
You gotta respect that. No.
Kevin Costner.
You have facts.
Like that
Let
is not
others die.
Like if Superman grows up with that kind of a dad, we don't get the Superman we have in the comics, in the idea of like always doing what's best and what's right and standing up. You know, he's like, maybe let a school bus of kids die.
But I think
like,
that was just like Snyder adding a layer to the point that I think that like even make the parents layered. Like, fuck, you know what? Like, this is a greater good, but this is still my kid.
Yeah,
and
no,
taken away.
And that's
you know
realistic.
I mean? Like,
Exactly. Like I did appreciate that. I get it. It's like a more realistic of like, what if it was in the real world and really raised by a white man from Kansas, right? Like this is kind of how it would be.
Like all he cares about is his son.
Some conservative motherfucker about like, no. Let's not get welfare to anybody.
Wait. Are you saying that the Kents would have been Trump supporters?
100%.
Oh shit.
Bro, he said let a school bus of kids
man.
die.
Damn, that's a good
if that's not a
question.
Trump supporter, I don't know what that is, man.
How conservative are the Kents? That's never been addressed in comics, I think.
I think that the Trump equivalent would be President Luthor, and I don't think that the Kents would vote for President Luthor. Maybe I would have been Lionel.
Not the Kents from the comics, but the Kents in the movie, though. Zack Snyder's Kents, man. I don't know, man. Shit.
Yo, Lionel Luthor was an epic addition to the Luthor family, bro.
Definitely.
Like he was dope as fuck.
Yeah, just one more piece on this epic Cavill thing. I kind of feel like the whole death and rebirth was part of the arc. So we don't get the epicness that is that post-credit scene without seeing where he came from. Because if you watch the films, he emerges, right? It is a darker tone film. In part 2, he gets super deep in it with Batman, right? Into the trenches of darkness. And then in part 3, when he comes back and defeats Steppenwolf, they show him in that same epic HD bright light. Okay, like he's back, he's reborn, you know, he's Jesus, he's here to save us all type shit. And now that we got all of that, boom, he finds himself. Like he wasn't born this perfect specimen that we see in Black Adam. He had to go through fucking death and sacrifice. It's beautiful.
I love it. Rod is the resident Zack Snyder scholar, man.
Get me started.
You're able to really like this was the actual artistic point of view, and it's like I get it. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
You know that epic scene where Steppenwolf's about to fucking stop fucking Cyborg. I love it, and Superman's just there smiling, really bright.
Yeah,
you know, and that was it. That was meant to be okay. This is the kickoff point.
Like
even
now,
Batman,
he's Superman.
Even Batman, he gets introduced as this fucking weird, obsessed, alcoholic, womanizing character, and then by the end of Justice League, he's this like almost like a leader, like a Tony Stark character. You know, it's amazing. Back to Black Adam.
Damn, I might fucking rewatch the Snyder Cut of Justice League today.
Actually, I was thinking that too. I
haven't seen this shit in a minute.
I saw Man of Steel last week. I'm thinking maybe today I should do the Zack Snyder Justice League, man. Yeah, because I've only seen that movie once, actually. No, twice. I've seen it twice. So I should see it again. It's a good movie. It's real fucking good.
Yeah, facts. That shit is dope.
All right, but back to Black Adam, right? Because exactly. So we get the origin. We all liked it. It was fun. There's a lot of cheesy stuff. One of the things actually with the origin, it was kind of funny. It was like, because when he comes out, right, he's speaking in his Kandak language, right? And he's like, that's how he's responding. But then when he wakes up from in the kid's room, he's now just speaking in English.
God.
And it's like, okay, sure. Then like, I don't know.
that one thing irked me, but they do explain for that. One of his powers is for example, so you see how
right, like the wisdom stuff.
Shazam has like the wisdom of Solomon. I forgot who the S is for Black Adam, but it's like if he would have woken up in fucking China, he would have been able to speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
Like,
but they don't explain that though.
Yeah,
they don't. They just
That's what I'm saying. They should have
right.
explained his pantheon. Because
I would have liked
mistaken,
1 second of just like a little neural electricity on the kid's head, like zip, like some bullshit. Just
that would have been.
Like
oh my god, that would have been so dope. That would have been fire. That would like he kind of zaps the kid gently real quick to get the language.
Exactly. And that's the type of thing that Jeff Johns does. Jeff Johns will take the most ridiculous concept in the DC universe and apply some type of passable logic to it.
Right.
And that's what I fucking love about him and his storytelling.
Right.
Yeah, but this one they said, fuck that. Let's get the movie going. Come on.
Yeah,
let's just go. It's The Rock.
No time for that. Yeah, let's just go. Keep on. But it's like it's stuff like that I didn't care, right? That it's like when I know, because I'm liking The Rock. Like I liked all the actors except a Cyclone. Really, like we'll get into JSA right now, but like I was with it. I was like, fine, whatever, man. Let's just keep going. Also, because thanks to that, we like that moment happens, and then we get the scene of him just walking through the fucking wall, which is like
that was funny.
That's funny. That's cool. And then so now I'm like, I'm sold again. I'm like, I'm with you, Rock. Let's keep going, man. And then right, because then let's dive into the JSA, right? Then we get the JSA. We've already been talking about everybody there. One of the things that I thought was funny about the JSA too, which is like how like it seems that Hawkman and Dr. Fate have been a team before. They've worked before. They know each other well.
It seemed way too established. That was crazy. This motherfucker had his emblem in the headrest of the seats. Like, no, that's way too established. Like, you have the Hawkman logo in the headrest. Like, I need context.
I love
Were there other logos? Oh my! No, wait, go back. Miguel,
no. But from what I remember, the seats it was all Hawkman. But the fact that he has his crest in the seats in a ship that's that well established, like, bro, I need context.
Bro, there has to be a previous iteration, right? There has to be, like, with fucking Alan Scott and Wildcat, all those motherfuckers.
Oh my god! Oh, my god. Also, like, right? Because they shit, right? Because
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Wildcat.
Wait, because also
I take it.
Where is Stargirl in all this, right? Is Stargirl part of this? It's a separate, it's like the CW kind of, or are they going to do something similar, right? Because that's the idea with Stargirl, right? That there used to be a JSA before, and now there's like these new versions. So they might do something, because they kind of gave us a hint, right? Because we had Atom Smasher had his who was it? His I don't remember his uncle
who was the
right?
Fonz.
Who was the Fonz? I don't know, Henry Winkler. Right, which actually that was a funny interest. He's not in Stargirl, right? Like, Henry Winkler as like Adam Smasher.
They haven't introduced Adam Smasher yet.
No. Okay, thank God. All right, good.
I think the route they're going is it's a different universe, just because like there's a JSA in the Arrowverse, the same way that there's a JLA, I think, but it's like Green Arrow has a big part in forming that JLA in that universe. Because remember during like when they did like the whole anti-monitor thing, they showed a whole bunch of the different universes. I don't even think they showed the movie one during the Arrowverse though, right? They didn't.
Because shit wasn't out, right?
They showed They showed a scene from like the Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds movie, I think.
They did?
Yeah. Like a movie, because that movie is in its own universe. I would love to see him come back, by the way.
Not
for a quick cameo.
I don't know.
Like, I think, but what I like about all of this is like it didn't ruin the movie for me. At least seeing these kind of like all these big, there's also a lot of logos of like Hawkman's logos even in the ship besides the seat thing. I think when he opens the room to get into like his cockpit or something, the Hawkman logo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. He's mad epic.
So that's why
he is rich. He's mad established. Like Aldous Hodge as that role is fucking fire. But they need to explain the whole Thanagar thing, like Nth Metal. There's too much context.
They have to give us a movie. They have to give us a GSA type of prequel movie or a movie of the origin or something like that. I would love that. Let's get Pierce Brosnan again, obviously, because spoiler alert, obviously, you're listening because you watched the movie. He fucking dies, right? Which sucked because I was like, fuck, man. Like, it was an epic death. I felt heroic. But I'm like, man, like Pierce Brosnan, man, I wanted more of Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. And the only way we could do that is by getting prequel movies,
Yeah.
right? To explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the way he stated it, he's been the host of the Helm of Fate for 100 years?
I guess. I don't
Kent
know.
Nelson. It just came to me. That's his last name is Nelson.
Yeah. Nelson, yeah. That version of Count Nelson has had that helmet for like 100 years. I think they said something along that line. And I didn't like the fact that the helmet just straight up, like, when dissipated, it should have found the way to get launched somewhere. Maybe like Black Adam would grab it and just throw it, you know what I mean? So it finds its next host. But the fact that, like, it dematerialized, that's never happened to the Helm of Fate. The Helm of Fate always finds a way to get thrown or launched or some shit to find its way to its next host. It never just go ahead and disappears. That's the first time I've ever seen the helmet just vanish.
Well, maybe it'll reappear in some other person in a new movie, and we're gonna get
there's a new one in the
Fate.
comics anyway. It's like a Middle Eastern dude is now he now has the helm. I forget his name.
Maybe somebody from Kandak will get it.
Now, yeah, wait, because as per Young Justice, wasn't like Satana training like a crew of like young magic recruits, and one of them became like
he's one. He was in it. Right. I think he was in it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember like they came up with an arrangement where like everyone like for a week they alternate the helmet,
right?
And even like the God Naboo was like, okay, that works.
But back with the JSA though, right? Because one of the things I was saying that I thought that was funny is like also how like they seem to be a team and shit, but like how like reckless, especially with Hawkman and Dr. Fate, that bring on these two rookies, Cyclone and Atom Smasher, and then just go like, all right, sure, let me throw you against this potential Superman level threat.
A god.
They're like they're rookies, right? They seem really without any kind of source of practice, and they're like young as fuck too, right? And they're like, all right, go out there, which obviously then leads us to see why did they make Atom Smasher so dumb, right?
I hated that.
Oh yeah,
I liked his look a little bit. I kind of liked his all right, he grows, he becomes huge. That's cool, but like.
He wore Deadpool's mask.
He's wearing Deadpool's mask in blue, which I liked. I thought it looked cool. I'm like, it's fine. But I'm like, why did they have to make him so stupid? Like he should have made a mistake once, maybe, and all right, cool, you're a rookie.
But the whole movie, like with that whole shit with Hawkman, like the second time, like me and you, like.
But when he slapped him, though, I like that one.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When he just puts his hand up and Hawkman just slams into the back of his hand.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
However, I want to go and point out that scene from the trailer where The Rock slaps the F-16, that never happened in the movie at all.
Oh yeah, good point.
The most played movie from the most played part from the trailer where like he smacks down the F-16, that shit never happened. And I kept my eyes open for that shit just to see, because I saw very differentiating opinions in the comment sections of like, like the Rock's page or like an IGN page. I saw people, I'm like, this didn't happen. But then I saw people arguing, like as a reply to those comments, like, yeah, it did. Well, you're not watching the movie. I'm like, no, that didn't happen at all. Are they just like a few different cuts of the movie just going around?
I pray that they make like a rated R version, because I think that's where this movie wanted to be. It wanted to be rated R, but The Rock's like, no, that's more general audience. So they made it PG-13. But I would love a cut that's just fucking even grittier than this one. Listen, although he does fry people to shreds, but
yeah, I felt like this was close. Like it was. The violence was pretty. Como se dice, graphic. And which I liked. But yeah, I'm down. They should have just made it an our movie. Come on, but it was all right. I liked Cyclone. I thought she was cool because then when they fight Black Adam with the JSA, I thought it was an epic fight. It was just super fucking cool. Even when Cyclone is using her powers to like kind of like imprison him, like throwing whatever shards of shit to him, and then I thought that looked cool. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I was
her outfit was trash though. It looked like she was part of Hocus Pocus too.
Yeah, I was getting some kind of Disney princess vibe.
Yeah,
with her. Like
her outfit was trash and
fleek.
retarded.
That's what you're trying to say.
I wouldn't say it was trash though. I wouldn't say it was trash. I liked it though. I was like, I'm fine with it, man.
Atom Smasher, as stupid as he was, ironically enough, looked amazing.
Yeah, he looked cool.
He looked amazing. But
like
also,
when he shows up eating like fried chicken, man, like that's
He stole that from
stupid.
Ezra Miller, who, by the way, is like on trial or some shit. But
we're still getting the
apparently
Flash movie.
DC, yeah, DC still gonna. People were speculating also that he might be out of the Flash, but nope, he's still out there.
No, and
Your boy's
Ezra's too
raw.
epic. Ezra's too epic.
apparently they're also working on a Flash 2 already. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's what I God damn.
Amidst
Oh
his
my
trial.
god, I can't wait for that movie. Shit.
What? Why is Ezra immune?
These white, cisgendered.
No,
No,
but that's the thing. Like other actors would have not like if it would have been like it's weird.
He's
It's
technically
weird, dude.
technically they're not cisgender because I think don't they go by they? I think aren't they non-binary?
Yeah.
So they're not cis. It's just a white
Facts.
fucking male passing person. I don't know, whatever.
Non-binary.
So you
Yeah.
think in today's age, that's what's helping him grab on to like,
Yo,
damn,
I think you got it right there, bro.
fuck. The fact that he's not
How you gonna
cisgender.
imprison a man who's already in a prison by society, bro?
Oh,
Genders? What is this?
Yo, the Legion of Zoom is back to the triumvirate. Let's go. See what happens when us three are together. We get to the bottom of shit.
Yo,
figure out
pa
society.
que sepa.
Fuck.
But I love seeing Cyclone use her powers. I felt like I was curious why they even included her, but it was a good opportunity to have a girl on the team. There aren't many, you got Black Canary, but she's already doing her Birds of Prey shit, whatever. So yeah, but I like the way she like looked. I like the way her power set. She has a broad power set too, man. Like that.
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the way they made it.
Power wise, the team was set because even Hawkman was kind of impervious, and he was strong, not strong Black Adam, but and you had Dr. Fate who pulled out the fucking Doctor Strange powers. Oh, I could do that too, bro. Like come to my dimension. That was really cool.
And I mean, shit, to be honest, if we're gonna break it down, let's be real with it. Comparing power sets, we know, like on paper, straight up, it just critical thinking. Dr. Fate is more powerful than Doctor Strange.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, my man is an avatar for the Lords of Order. What the fuck? Like,
bro, my man is the sorcerer supreme of the universe, of like this whole dimension.
Yeah. Fuck that though. But it's not even like there's like it has to do with the person that's hosting the helm. Is once you put on the helm, Naboo is free. So it's like it's Naboo. You get what I'm saying? Like I've never noticed that it has
my
to do
boy,
with, like,
Doctor Strange has faced like Dormammu, man. Like Naboo, he'll be able to figure out a way to imprison him. Like, nah, man. Come on,
I will go as far as to say that Clarion could fight Dormammu.
Clarion. Fucking
Clarion is a galactic level threat almost.
Yeah, he is, but I hate him.
Cuando le da la gana type shit. All right, fine. But how about this? What about a Strange puts on the helm of fate?
You read my mind.
Fuck!
And now with James Gunn at DC, bro, him and Kevin Feige are bros. Like, yo, come on, man, little crossover. Why not? Everybody wants it. And you know what? Yo, whereas like a decade ago, I would have said it's impossible. There's like a million studios that all have the rights to all these different characters. You'll never get DC and Marvel in the same flick. But now that they're consolidating power and it's all about the money, because Sony and Marvel Studios played nice with Spider-Man. Right. Why can't Superman come to the MCU? Like, there's nothing saying that
we might get a Marvel versus DC.
Yo. And there we'll see who's more powerful, because I'm sure they'll go at it. You gotta have versus Strange.
And then at that point, somehow in the plot, you would get like, instead of it being like who were like the saviors in that story? Was it Captain America and Batman, right? Like the most epic, like human level dudes, because like they were the ones who kind of save shit. I bet if they were to do a crossover in the movies, it would be at some point Strange would wear the helm of fate. Fuck.
And Superman wields Mjolnir.
Damn.
Oh. I don't know, not this Superman, not Henry Cavill Superman, who would have let a school bus of kids die. I don't know, it's a fucking word.
If it was for his father.
Well, no, you know what? Actually, I can't blame him because obviously Thor has a crappy father too with Odin, right? So
fair enough. Let's talk the villain of fucking Black Adam though, like, because even though like
Sabak.
Yeah, the thing about this movie was like there was so much story because you had to unearth who Black Adam was that it left little time for like an actual villain that wasn't Black Adam. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it on like just on paper, like the concept of Sabak is epic as fuck. So it's like, since there's like an Egyptian, you know, like I'm having a brain fart. What's the word? Yeah, pantheon of gods. There's also a hell version, which also brings in like the giant question: like, does every pantheon have their own hell version? Yeah, like that.
Some
That's the giant
Sandman
question.
shit.
Yeah, OD, crazy.
Oh.
But when it comes to Sabak, he for some reason, so he's like the champion of hell, but it's just like Shazam, but he has the powers of several different like demon lords, I
Yeah.
guess. Like I felt like they could have. This was the chance to make it way more appreciated by fans. They just brushed that shit under the rug, I felt like.
Yeah, I kind of liked it a little bit, but it was like, oh shit, things escalated quickly, right?
Yeah.
from and epically, right? Because he has to die, right? So it was kind of like cool from the beginning. We find out, right, that the person that's helping the Lara Croft character to get all he's backstabbing them, and he wants the crown for himself to get the powers of the Sabak or whatever, right? But then all of a sudden, we're like, well, then he has to fucking die, right? Epically by Black Adam and go to hell, where we see all this pantheon of evil gods, and then give him his power to then come back, not as himself, but come back as this epic, like, devil demon dude. Was like, whoa. That was
like,
yo, that dude was shady off the rip.
Yeah.
He was sus from the moment he's on screen, and I thought he did a great job. And I love that they brought in Sabak as the final villain, because like you said, Chaz, like Black Adam is kind of like playing the villain, and the Justice Society are the heroes of the film until the third act, right? Black Adam becomes grounded, and he wants to fight for justice, blah blah blah. And he fights Sabak, which I thought was really cool. He looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, he looks so dope as fuck. If anything, I think just because the movie would have had to go longer because it was so much, because you have to unearth the whole thing with Black Adam, then you have to explain Sabak. It's so much information that I think to get like a valid explanation and a justification for Sabak, it would have been a 3-hour movie. Because at the same time, the throne, which was a powerless heirloom, for some reason was very important. Like that whole blast from his chest of mad power, for some reason, Sabak had to sit on the throne, but the throne was just a place. You guys get what I mean? Like, or am I bogging in that part of the plot? Like, I felt like as soon as Sabak was like born into our world, so to speak, his whole mission was to sit on the throne of Kandak so he can like unleash mad power. But the throne was never really expressed as a place of power. It was just a chair.
Yeah, exactly.
That was weird.
It's like the ruler's chair.
Yeah, maybe it's more like a magical realm kind of thing, right? Where like symbolically it means this, because it was the ancient throne. Like it's like magic rules where like it's like he sits on it, and so he imbued it with magic
that's
power.
That's what I'm saying. Like they should have maybe explained some of that, because as soon as I peeped that thing in the story, I was like, wait, but they haven't explained anything special about the throne. It's just a throne.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
I think you nailed it with the whole symbolic thing, right? It's like symbolic of the top dog in all of Kandak, basically. Like, who's the leader? And I thought like they introduced Kandak really cool in the beginning with the dudes on the fucking bikes in the air and shit like that. It was kind of like a Blade Runner-esque shit going on.
Oh, what is it called? Intergang, right?
Intergang.
Yeah,
which is like a
totally
Superman
mainstay.
Yeah. Which is a Superman mainstay. Yep. I was very impressed by the fact that they brought an Intergang.
Yeah, that's another big this is what I liked about the Black Adam movie, right? Like they really expanded the lore of the DC universe, right? A lot, right? We're just talking about the Intergang, right? These whole Egyptian pantheon of gods that the game, the hell demon stuff, Nth Metal, just a society, so much, and it's like. But they didn't take away from the movie that it's like I was still entertained. I knew what I needed to know to get from point A to point B in the movie and be entertained, enjoying my popcorn and soda all throughout, man.
The part that brings me out is like, it's because with Intergang, 1 to 2 steps behind is always Apocalypse.
Yeah.
They're always tied together. It's
What?
like Intergang is like
Oh yeah.
it's like their like Earth branch of Apocalypse is Intergang because they've always had very
Oh.
close dealings. There's never been a story where you get Intergang without hearing like Desaad or Darkseid or someone dealing with them behind the scenes. Usually Desaad 9 times out of 10 because it's Darkseid. He ain't got time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's always like you get Granny Goodness, you get Desaad. There's someone that's always in deals with Intergang from Apocalypse, which is insane.
Yo, well, who knows, man? The next couple of films,
I'm ready.
maybe this, because at least when the movie ends, right after we get Sabak, pretty cool fight with Black Adam. I like how Black Adam also just came back. This whole escaping, Amanda Waller's prison and then fighting, as himself and then floating up. I thought that was cool. Very Zack Snyder-ish. I felt a lot of slow motion, epic shots. Photography was kind of cool. But then right when it ends, right, Intergang seems to still be like, did Intergang get kicked out of conduct? Like, are they still there? Like, I don't know. There may still be a way involved to then connect with Darkseid and all that.
I'll go ahead and assume that they're involved somehow because Intergang is one of those entities like the Foot from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like they never go away. Like Intergang is always around in some capacity, and they're always in contact with Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's almost like a symbiotic relationship. Like Apocalypse doesn't want to let go of an arm in our planet with Intergang, and Intergang doesn't want to lose contact to the most powerful source that any gang on Earth has. Fucking Apocalypse.
Maybe that's what's gonna happen in the next, I don't know, Black Adam film or something that'll lead Superman
or Man of Steel 2.
Fight. Probably those things will set it up. Yeah, exactly. Then they'll have to fight each other, then join forces to fight Apocalypse or some shit.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Yeah.
That'd be
and
fire.
About the final fight with Sabak, one of the most popular scenes ever involving Black Adam in the comic books involves Intergang. And it was written in the 52 weekly series DC Comics published, I don't know, back in the mid 2000s, where he takes like an Intergang dude and he rips them in half, right? And it's just like, and also Jeff Johns was involved. A lot of great writers involved in that shit. If you haven't read it, check it out. And I'm glad that they brought that moment into the movies for the fans. Like he ripped Sabak, spoiler alert, in half. I'm like, oh, that was bad by the horns. Like, you want to be badass with horns, dude? Take this.
While trying to contain all his power from killing everyone in the vicinity. That was dope. That ending was fucking dope.
Come on, this movie was good. It was fun. Yeah. Look at all this. There was so much goodness in it.
No. There was so much goodness, but they just hit you with too much shit without context. Like the JSA, Hawkman, Doctor Strange, like Carter Hall's mad epic, all this high. Shut the fuck up. Go with it. Young Mark Ruffalo, go fuck yourself. Like damn.
Yeah.
But like Ches, do you think like in a way that affected your ability to enjoy the movie? Like
no. Because I'm insanely like initiated into the world of comics. The whole time I was thinking, yo, the person that isn't on our level is like, what? like most people watching this shit probably were in fucking Wikipedia. Like, who the fuck is this person? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's more telling of the modern action film than it is of like this movie's plot. Because I know in movies nowadays, you just gotta throw fun shit at the viewer now. You gotta be massive, spectacular. So at its heart, I feel like Black Adam was an action movie.
Yes.
And then people want to critique it under the lens of like a superhero. It's not the Dark Knight. Oh my God, whatever. Like, fuck that. This shit from top to bottom, I was smiling. It was fucking amazing. Another thing I loved was because you also have little surprises at the viewer. So, they threw a big surprise in that he wasn't the original champion, right? Seth Adams.
That was a very
cool twist. That was dope.
And
then at the end, when he comes out with his official costume with the really bright bowl and the cape and shit, I'm like, oh man, this is fucking amazing. Loved it.
Yeah, because I agree, because I felt this was like, right, we've talked about how the superhero movies right now can even be different genres, right, within their own films, right? Because like with the Captain America films, there were kind of like spy, suspense thriller type things, right? And Spider-Man movies are more like, teenage coming of age kind of thing, and we have different styles, right? I felt this one was like the most classic summer blockbuster action film, right? Like it's an action film, man. Like a well done, come on, The Rock is known for his action films, right? Like that's what he does, right? He's not known for his deep dark portrayal of XY character, right? Like he's known for giving you a blockbuster film, right? That you're gonna go in, have fun, and when you're out, you're gonna be like, fuck, that was fun, and that's it, right? And that's what this movie was. I felt like this was just fun. It was an action. Yeah, they introduced a lot of characters. I don't think people would, unless they're really curious, they'd go back and go on Wikipedia to find it, because I think they're given enough information. Like, if you care, you'll look into it. If not, all you need to know, all right, well, this superhero team exists. All right. And they're going to try to go stop Black Adam. All right, that's fine. Like, they don't really need to know what Nth Metal is or the Lords of Order or
I feel like
chaos. Like, I not for the movie, not for the sake to enjoy the movie. Like, you're still enjoying the movie. It's like, all right, cool, whatever.
But however, I feel like, and this is almost like a dastardly plot on the people who made the movie's behalf, is like, if you go and look up all that shit, then rewatch the movie, it would add a significant layer of richness to the movie. You know what I mean? Like, for example, imagine you go through that movie not knowing all the shit we know. Like, who the fuck is Dr. Fate? What's happening? What's going on? Rand Thanagar, Nth Metal. But then imagine us seeing that shit. Like, we all saw the movie. We know what all that shit means. It adds so much depth. It's crazy. That movie's a fucking rabbit hole of lore.
Yeah. Yo, exactly. In other words, lore.
Yeah, like OD. Like, that shit is crazy. It's like you get like the family history on Atom Smasher. You get like a 5-minute reveal of like the origin of Cyclone. You get to hear the words Nth Metal. You get Carter Hall, rich as fuck. It's like, it's so much.
You get to see Amanda Waller.
Yeah, you see Amanda Waller.
Oh, and you get to get a cameo from Peacemaker, James Gunn's wife.
Yeah, hardcore.
Hardcore.
Yeah, she was the one, the blonde woman that takes Black Adam and puts him in stasis at the
prison. She looked familiar, but she didn't look like the same.
Isn't that cool, bro?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like,
that James Gunn is a rat. He's lurking in the shadows.
Yo, like, this movie has it's almost too much for the uninitiated. It's too much. It's like, this movie was made for the people who've been with the DCU from the beginning type shit. Like, fuck, there's so much.
Yeah.
And even for us that have been with it from the beginning, there was still too much, because we got Carter Hall for the first time, not Dr. Fate for the first time. We got the JSA for the first time. Like, it's just Nth Metal. Like, this is too much.
Eternium, you get blasted by the Rock.
We get the fucking Council of Wizards, which hasn't even been mentioned in the Shazam movies, because you got the Wizard Shazam. And mind you, they didn't even mention Shazam in this movie, which doesn't make any sense.
I love that. I loved all of that.
Yeah, those are all great points.
All great points, exactly.
And just when you thought you've had enough, the post credits just rips your eyeballs out and skull fucks you, bro.
We get the Henriest Cavill ever.
My guy said, forget the who?
The Witcher?
Fuck, I'm just gonna do Superman.
By the way, I'm gonna go on a quick tangent. Fuck the people that worked on that show. I've heard reports that they hated it, like the core material, like the books and the games. That's why, if you watch The Witcher and you think it sucks, that's why it sucks. The people that were working on it didn't appreciate the actual material, which Henry Cavill's a giant stan of. Which, honestly, I think that's why he's leaving, because he saw where the show was going. It was like, wait, no, this isn't what I read and what I played. You guys suck. So I wanted to leave. So that's why I think it's even easier for him to leave. And I think that Thor's brother is a pariah now. Liam Hemsworth is a fucking pariah.
Whoa, a pariah? Why a pariah?
Because you know that shit is gonna suck as soon as he's involved. That dude does nothing great. Like, he sucks.
Damn.
Liam
Hemsworth hard on my guy Liam.
What has he done?
I don't know.
What has he done?
Well, I don't know.
I've never seen him in anything.
Wait.
Yeah,
exactly. What has he done that's okay?
But I don't know. I don't know what has he done that's either good or bad. I don't know. Has he done?
And you think he's going to be a good Geralt after
everything
Henry
on
Cavill?
Netflix is doo-doo. The last good thing they had was the fucking Marvel shows, and that's it.
And Sandman,
everything
come on,
after
Sandman was good, man.
was that.
Yeah, yeah. What? Sandman was
Check out the
fucking great.
Audible if you want peak Sandman.
And also check out our Rogan length 2 hour and 45 minute review.
of the Sandman series, man. Hell yes.
Fuck.
Man, I don't know, man. Look, I wouldn't call Liam Hemsworth a pariah, but I'm excited that
No,
Henry
I
Cavill
think this is
stepping-
making him into a pariah. This is
step-
making him into a pariah.
I'm excited to see Henry Cavill coming back officially as Superman, and I thought it was just so you can understand like how big of a deal this is, right? Is that all of us, we knew this was going to happen, right? Like The Rock spoiled it. I knew it was going to happen. It was not a surprise at all. But even in the theater, when I waited and I saw that happen, that scene, I couldn't help but clap and cheer, right? Like everybody in the theater was like, yeah, my boy, Cavill's back.
Yeah.
And I knew it, and I was still excited and loved it. I'm like, that's the fucking power that Henry Cavill will have as Superman.
The only part I didn't like about the post-credit scene was I wish that instead of The Rock smirking, like that was fourth wall breaking. Because like, look, audience, it's Superman. Smirk. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny. I don't even remember the smirk. I remember the majesty of Henry Cavill walking out of the shadows.
Yeah. It would have been funny, like if The Rock would have stayed deadpan and been like, after he said we should talk, like, indeed. That's it. And not to get us close up and then a smirk like that. That was kind of stupid. But the scene,
I don't remember that.
I mean, vaguely I remember. I would have opened the movie with that, to be honest.
Woo! That's
and
bold.
then exactly, just fucking blast you like what, and then the movie, and then have another post credits. But anyway,
no. That would have been too much. That would have been too much.
I'm ready for too much. I want more.
No, but let's review.
Yeah.
This shit. Let's rate it. Let's rate this shit. All right, so Black.
Wait.
Adam.
Before we review, what do you think happens next in that scene? Speculate. They have a reasonable discussion, or they fuck each other up.
Both. They have a reasonable discussion. they have a reasonable discussion that leads to them fucking each other up.
Okay.
Because like it escalates, like it gets progressive. You know what I mean? Like a Superman saying like you can't leave this area. You know, like a Black Adam saying like, "What the fuck you mean I can't leave this area? Like I'm a god just like you. Why are you that way?"
He's gonna,
you know what I mean? Like
for the
yeah. Like it's that type of back and forth where like Black Adam questions Superman like, "Why are you so good?" Like or not even good, is like, "Why are you not more controlling?" And then Cavill trying to explain what it's like to be a hero, and then you get like Black Adam's interpretation of like, no, this is what it is to be a hero, and then it leads to them eventually fighting.
Yes, honestly, exactly. If this is actually now truly Superman, peak Superman, he's gone through this birth and rebirth, right? That Rod was talking about from the earlier films. I think he wouldn't fight. I think maybe Black Adam will push him. Maybe Black Adam will start fucking fighting with him. And I think Superman won't fight. He'll just be dodging, holding back and stuff like that, and trying to talk to him, because that's what Superman is, right? He'll be all about just being, the values of being a hero and just really trying, and maybe a little bit at the end just show off his powers. Because also it's also a little bit weird. Like, is he Amanda Waller's lapdog? Like just goes like, but I'm curious to see why, like, because he was really just there to threaten him, right?
I would say
he's like Amanda was like, "Don't leave," He's like, "All right, well, I haven't left. I'm literally in contact. You know what? Here's Superman to threaten you. Like, why are you guys pushing me right now?" Like,
oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Everybody was like confrontational in this movie. Like when Hawkman first approaches Black Adam, he's like ready to fight. He has his mace out. Like I thought you guys were gonna discuss this first, but anyway,
right.
No, but I mean,
that was an interesting point.
No, but that's the thing. But that's actually like Hawkman-ish. You know what I mean? Like that's actually
yeah,
very much
even Amanda
Hawkman
Waller.
character.
Yeah, I guess they are, but damn, I guess that's America right there for you.
That's right.
Well, exactly. But then it goes to
America.
Cavill. Like he wasn't that confrontation. He was like, his sentence was kind of weird. It's like the world hasn't like, what was it that he said?
Something about like
no one has made the world nervous in such a long time. But like, Adam, we should talk. Like that felt a little. I feel like they could have gone with some better dialogue. You know what I mean? But like,
I thought it was perfect.
Honestly, it could have had no dialogue, and I would have loved it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that would have been intense. You imagine he just would have walked out and looked at him, like, and then the shit just ends. No dialogue. Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Fuck.
So,
All right, fuck. Let's rate this.
shall we
something.
rate this shit now? All right,
Damn.
Ches, Rod, what are you guys giving it?
8.
Oh, Rod,
Damn.
an
Damn.
8.
I came in 7.5, but after talking about it for almost 2 hours, I realized there were so many things that I liked about it. Like it outweighed the small little plot points.
What were the plot points you didn't like?
Ah, damn. Well, the JSA coming out of nowhere, right? Like no explanation about that. Him knowing like small things like him knowing English right away. And like Intergang's lack of involvement toward the end of the film. Like out of nowhere, you get like this undead skeleton army. That's all suck. I hate when they should have learned from Suicide Squad. Like, don't have a random army because everybody wants to be the Chitauri in Marvel in the Avengers, and just have like random people, kids with sticks destroying these undead forces of hell.
Like
Yeah.
all the people
Yo.
of Kandak came out to fight and shit.
If one was behind me, I just throw my water bottle at it and it just disintegrate. Like, what's the point of rising this army that can't even beat children with sticks? But those little things like that, you should just have them overthrow Intergang at the end, have the people rise up against the terrorists, which they should have kind of made it more of an emphasis on that. But yeah, little things like that. Again, Jeff Johns, where are
That's a
you?
great point.
Facts.
Yo, I hadn't even thought about that, right?
Again.
Because we didn't talk about the fucking the army of the undead, and you're right.
So pointless.
So stupid, and even just them the uprising. I was into it in the moment. It's like, all right, it's funny. It was mostly funny, right? I think they had a lot of comedic things, and like what was it, the cousin or the brother, right? The brother of Lara Croft, like he got shot in the fucking gut, and then he's like,
"You won't die this way."
And he's running now, and like exactly right because he apparently Dr. Fate told him he's gonna die from electricity, and he's like extra courageous because he's like, there's electricity, and so it's
and also
funny.
I'm an electrician.
yeah, but yeah, that oh my god, fighting Intergang, that would have been way better, and then it would have fit the theme of like liberating themselves.
Yeah, it made no sense. And Suicide Squad made that same error. I'm like, yo, guys, come on. Chitauri was one time.
That's it. This one time, yeah. I think what is it called? The Deus Ex Machina or whatever the fuck, like the plot device, some shit like that. When it's like that Deus always works.
Yeah, Deus Ex Machina is what resolves the plot. It's like what happens. It's like, and then this happened, and then it's fixed. And so I don't think there was a Deus Ex Machina in this movie, really, other than I guess the idea that Dr. Fate was able to transport himself to tell
the Rock and wake him up.
To wake him up.
Yeah.
Rock.
And the Rock supernova. You know, that move, that like kill shot that he has, that is the break in case of fire, break glass in case of fire thing. That's the Deus Ex Machina.
But that's not that. That's not that, because it's also within the narrative, though.
Yeah, exactly. So there really wasn't. There really wasn't one.
Yeah. Because like he had done it before, and
exactly.
Aware of that level, like.
All right, Ches, what's your rating?
Honestly, I was gonna give it a 6.5, but after talking with you guys, I'll give it a 7.
All right, 7, and
the context just weighs very heavily on me.
All right.
Yo, Cavill adds 0.5 minimum to the score.
So 6.5. Cavill made it a 7.
Exactly.
I gave it an 8 too. Solid 8.
Damn.
I was even debating going higher because I think
no. This movie does not deserve above an 8.
I think we're already at an hour and change from here, but I do think we should talk about down the road again, because for me, this is my second favorite DC Universe movie. My number 1 movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Then I think I would put this in number 2, and 3 I would have Batman versus Superman, and then 4 probably Wonder Woman. First, maybe the first one. And then Aquaman. Suicide Squad somewhere in between.
Oh, the Suicide Squad should be like in the top 3, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I still think I would put Zack Snyder's Justice League, a Black Adam, and then Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition. Hey, what are your top 3s? Hey, quickly, let's do it.
Ches, you want to go first? I need to think a little bit. Number 1 for me is Ultimate Edition. BVS. That should change. It's funny because like the thing that made me a stan of DC Comics in the modern era was Jim Lee's Hush, Superman versus Batman. I think this recaptured that same feeling, but in cinematic form. So I definitely got that as number one because this thing made me a stan of Zack Snyder. Now I'm in love with this man. And after that, Zack Snyder's Justice League, obviously, and then number three, The Suicide Squad.
Above Black Adam, yeah.
Mind you, he just told me to go ahead because he had to think, and then he went and named all three. Straight
Got
up.
excited.
He's like, go ahead, but wait.
I had to think about it.
Just did the whole thing. All right, so I would go Zack Snyder's Justice League, The Suicide Squad, Black Adam. Those are my top three.
Oh, all right, not bad. And you were gonna give it a 6.5, and it's your top third movie.
Shazam isn't up there.
Nah.
Nah.
For Chaz, I feel like you would like Shazam. You're like a Shazam guy.
No. I love the hero of Shazam. Those movies, they're playing to a way too childish crowd. I feel like there's a way to make that movie where it's just a little bit darker, but still just as light. Hopefully,
And they showed the trailer. They showed the trailer before. I thought that was really cool watching the trailer to Shazam.
Yeah, I thought the
Black
same
Adam.
thing. I
Really
thought the
cool.
same fucking thing. I'm like, this is the last trailer that you're in. That's perfect. Which is why I'm so adamant about like Black Adam should have made some reference to Shazam. Like I feel that like the other
Patience,
is here
bro.
or some shit. Like some
You're gonna
Islander
get
type
it.
Shit.
You're gonna get it.
Whatever, man. Fine. 7.
All right, so yeah, so we gave it a 7, an 8, and an 8, and so that basically goes up to 7.7 rating. You know, if we
That's
round
about
up,
right.
it'll be like an 8, but yeah, but 7.7. I think that sounds sounds about right. All right.
That sounds,
Like when you get a
sounds right.
77 on an exam, you're like, you know what? That's not bad.
Exactly.
Like I did. I'm gonna go jerk off.
All right, people. All right. Well, this is good. This was good.
Facts. All right, mofos. Go rewatch Black Adam. We'll be back soon with some other shit.
Hell yeah.
This is Trez.
This is Miguel.
This is Rod. Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.